so that way. One of the things we do is we record this so that if folks aren't able to make it at this time and want to catch up, they have all this information easily accessible to them, and all the people here are presenting essentially what we've been doing, etc. So welcome to those that are here. Welcome to those that are going to watch this later. And we'll put out a new call to the board about the timing. If it looks like we're going to need to get more people at a certain time, this may not work for folks. So, all right, with that in mind, we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on and all that wonderful, wonderful stuff. So I'm going to keep my face up on the screen while I'm presenting for a moment, and then I'll switch it off when other people are. So, call to order. So we're getting started. We're here, we're ready, we're gonna go. We'll do some introductions real quick. So I'm the director of the VSGI. I'm also a professor in the game design program. Assuming everybody here knows that, but just in case for those who are watching it later. I'm just gonna go down the list, and I'm going to call on people if you just want to introduce yourself and what you do real quick. Ilya, you want to go ahead and say hi?
Yeah. Hi. My name is Ilya Stanek. I am the IT computer lab technician for game, but I also work with VSGI, setting up all the labs and offices there as well. So everything tech related usually comes to me.
Excellent. Eric.
Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Piccioni. I'm the Associate Director of the Game Design Program, and I'm also an Associate Professor in the program. I teach a lot of art, the business of game design, and I teach the capstone.
Excellent. And saying you already have your mic on and you jumped up the list there. So go ahead and say hi.
Hi, my name is Sang Nam. I'm the Director of Computer Game Design Program, and I also teach at the Computer Game Design Program. Thank you.
I'm just doing these in the order that I see it on my list to try to make it easier to remember. So Heather, you're up next.
I can unmute myself and even go on camera.
Oh, nice.
Maybe. There we go. It worked. Yep. Heather Deal. I've been a board member of VSGI for like years now. It's been a very interesting evolution. These days, I'm spending my time maturing a lot of businesses that some of them are using these gaming technologies in federal and defense work.
Excellent. Let's see, Jacob.
Yes, I'm Jacob Enfield. I am in the VSGI and the Computer Game Design Department. I teach game programming, and I do work with different projects that the VSGI is overseeing, and that's it.
Yeah, he'll be talking a lot about research. So let's see, Joshua.
Hey, my name is Josh Umsweller, and I'm the operations manager for MGTA. And I basically just oversee the classes that we hold during the summer, fall, and spring, as well as work with the hires that we hire on as TAs and instructors.
Mary.
Hello, my name's Mary Bean. I am the academic program and office manager for game design on the Fairfax campus.
Excellent. Riza.
Hi, everyone. Riza Villacorte, admin assistant for the VSGI of Operations and Finance. Thank you for coming.
Riza is the one that sends out all the emails and reminds you about these things. So
just put James's name on it.
That's right. I just use my name, but Riza takes care of all that. Let's see, we already got Sang. So Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Kane. I'm the research coordinator at the VSGI.
And also teaches in our program. Susan.
Yes. Hello, I'm Susan Graziano, Senior Director of Development for the College of Visual and Performing Arts. Thank you.
Excellent. And then Trey.
Hey, everybody. I'm going to try to go on camera as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, this is Trey Ryer. I've been a member of the board for years and years and years now. Have not been terribly involved, but I'm the head of games at an agency called JPA Health, in DC, overseeing serious game development for healthcare medical games, and have some lingering ties to the DoD serious games world through the Serious Games Showcase and Challenge at
Excellent.
the ITSEC conference in Orlando. So just trying to re-engage, and nice to see everybody.
Look, it's great to see you again. So yeah, and I think we're going to try to go back to ITSEC next year now as
Awesome.
well. So it's going to be great. So awesome.
Cool.
I think we hit everybody on the list. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go through some of the different programs and give some news and stuff like that. If some of the folks that are external have some questions, feel free to pop it in chat or raise your virtual hand. We'll try to catch you. We'll also have time at the end, and if there's things you want to chat about as well, obviously, since it's a board meeting. Then for folks that watch this later, obviously, if you see things that appeal to you and want to call out, just reach out to myself, and we'll get you in touch with the appropriate folks or start the appropriate talks. So with that in mind, I'm going to take myself off of here and just switch it back to just the slides so that Sang can talk a little bit about game design, and I may or may not chime in on some of them too, since we did a lot of them together. But this is basically, since we go hand in hand with the computer game design program, and both of us are directors here at the VSGI, it makes sense to keep everybody informed of both sides of the house. So with that in mind, first thing up, go ahead, Sang.
Thank you. First thing, ASHIP, Aspiring Scientist Summer Internship Program. So each and every summer, VSGI and Computer Game Design Program participate in this program, Summer Internship Program by College of Science, George Mason University. Each year, especially this year, actually, we got more than 2,800 applications. And this program got like a bigger and bigger. So now I think this year we selected about 350 students, but still, I mean, this is a summer internship program, and then more than 2,800 like high school students apply for this. So very prestigious program, and we participate like every summer. This summer, we mentored two groups, and first one, next slide. First group created a virtual reality game. So their research title is utilizing hand tracking technologies in serious games to teach American Sign Language. So they created a serious game to teach simple sign languages to people. And one interesting thing about this project was they actually used the hand tracking system. So they don't have to, like a players don't have to use a controller. And I apologize for my lingering cough, but the project was great. My cough, not so great. And next slide, please. And another group worked on with the title, Developing an Artificial Intelligence Agent for Early Elementary Education Using Dialectical Materialism. So they created an AI agent that mimics early childhood, like elementary education teacher. So they try to implement dialectical materialism. So instead of providing simple answer, so this AI agent kind of keep asking question that like uses whatever user input. So as a result, it will basically this AI agent carry the conversation for a long time and then guide user to arrive at the answer, kind of like by asking serious questions and by having this serious conversation about the topic. Okay, next.
So while he's coughing there, so
yeah. This fall, this fall, computer game design program. We just did the head count. We have 453 major students and 36 minor students. And application status so far, we got like 30 applications for spring and fall next year, and then we got like 7 applications for Mason Korea. But yeah, and applications coming in, and then our enrollment projection is pretty good. And next slide. We had the new student welcome event at August 30th, like almost a month and a half ago. And about 50 students participated. And then we invited Dean Rick Davis of College of Visual and Performing Arts, and he gave great welcome remarks. And myself, James, Eric, Jacob, Mary, and Ilya, we attended to welcome new students. And on September 19th, we hosted visitors from Seoul Digitech High School. Seoul Digitech High School is one of few Maestro High School. So in Korea, they have this Maestro High School program. So they started this vocational education early on. And this high school actually has majors in game development and AI software engineering. So myself and James and then Clark, associate at VSGI, we hosted 18 visitors from Seoul Digitech High School, and then we show them VSGI and our main campus on Fairfax. And next slide. And on September 20th and 21st, we had Game Mason event. This event is the main organizer of this event is student involvement at George Mason University, and then computer game design program and Center for the Arts. We support. We kind of co-organize this event together with student involvement, and especially we specialize educational session by curating all these presentations and talks about game and education. So this year, we had alumni talk, like a Little Arm Studio. If you ever heard of them, they were one of like the first residential companies we hosted at VSGI. Now they graduated a long time ago, but they still maintain their studio and doing very well. So we invited the CEOs from Little Arm Studio, and they shared their experience in the industry and especially how to operate their indie game studios. And then we have Nathan Hahn, who is an adjunct faculty at our program. He's actually also our alumni. He's from a master's program. He's from our master's program. And now he works as an associate producer at Bethesda. So he shared his experience working as a game producer. And then Professor Greg Grimsby, he has interactive session, and he talked about how to develop a board game. And James and myself, we talk about business aspects of game design and development, and all of these talks were received very well. And then we actually were impressed because it was more likely community event, not necessarily just like a game event. It's a community event, and if you like we now try to do this every September. So if you are around during those time, yeah, please visit Game Mason. I mean, you'll be surprised how big gamers community we have at Mason. And next was Arch by George, September 28th. And James and myself, and we curated our student work and all this research stuff produced by computer game design faculty and VSGI. And then we invited 3 student volunteers who were Mason Korea students. Just to let you know, we do have our extended campus in South Korea, which we call it Mason Korea. And how it works is Mason Korea students spend 3 years in Korea, and then they actually come to Fairfax to spend the year and graduate. So this time we have 6 Mason Korea students who made that transition from Mason Korea to Fairfax campus, and then we invited them to volunteer at the event to kind of have that cultural experience. This is Arch by George is a very prestigious event for our donors and supporters, and then very interesting event. And then we also invited ACIP high school interns to present their work. Next slide. For your information, again, we do Arch by George every year, and then typically we are located at Horizon Hall, like a basement of Horizon Hall. There is mix, and then there's a mixed media room, and then that's where we usually are located. And this year we have this showcase entitled Unlocking the Future, Game Design with AI and Mixed Reality. The next slide. So this is some pictures from the event. And let's go to the next slide. And then play this video a little bit. So this is a virtual reality app game that created by student interns. And whom you are seeing right now is Dean Rick Davis of CBPA. He's actually using that, playing that serious game developed by high school interns. And then as you can see, he's actually using his hands without controller. And MetaQuest 2 is doing pretty decent job for hand tracking. Okay. Let's go to next slide. And on October 1st, we hosted info session for Japan study abroad program. We offer this short-term study abroad program. Students visiting Tokyo, Japan, and sometimes Kyoto, and they visit local game studios, and for cultural and professional experience. So this has been very popular, and we usually max out each year. We get like a 30 participants every time, and then students really love this experience. And next slide, please. And I would like to report that we now have new provost, Dr. James Antoni, and great educator. And then he had the experience at Harvard, Yale, and UPenn and UC San Diego. And yeah, he has been like a new academic leader for George Mason University, and we are very excited. So if you are interested, you can visit provost.gmu.edu, and you can read more about him. Next slide. And collaboration. We've been meeting many different people and entities, organizations for future collaborations. With College of Engineering and Computing, James and I visited CIA's the headquarters was it headquarter?
Yep, it was the
Okay.
headquarter. Yep.
Yeah, CIS headquarter, and then we met with the Directorate of Digital Innovation, and then we discussed a potential collaboration. And we continue to work with Higher College of Technology in UAE. And we started this collaboratory relationship with EDNOC schools in UAE. EDNOC stands for Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. So this is international K-12 schools, and we've been working with them. And then over the summer, I gave a talk, the workshop, like professional development workshop for their K-12 teachers, and we had more than 300 teachers showed up and attended, so it was pretty good. And UAE, in the UAE, we are working with Abu Dhabi Gaming. Abu Dhabi Gaming is a government agency in the UAE, and Abu Dhabi, Kingdom of Abu Dhabi, they really see the future in the gaming industry. So they created this government agency, Abu Dhabi Gaming, and then we plan to have global game jam with them on like mid-November. In Korea, yeah, we met with Incheon Metropolitan Office of Education and the division of Incheon Education Science and Informatics Institute to talk about creating game-based learning and game curriculum for their schools, like elementary schools. And we also met with Seoul Digitech High School, and also we met with public diplomacy officers in U.S. Embassy in Seoul. And next slide. And faculty highlights. I received my second U.S. Fulbright Specialist Award, and I will develop a virtual reality serious game prototype promoting Dark Sebastian in Hammamet, Tunisia. So using the serious game to preserve a historical site. Next. And myself, James, and Eric, we received a 4BA collaborative grant developing a multimodal LLM AI agent for the XR extended reality platform for personalized and highly immersive trauma training with UVA scrub medicine. So we are developing this extended reality training app for physicians, how to respond to trauma situation using AI-powered holographic nurses and physicians and medical equipment appear on their screen using Microsoft HoloLens 2. And next. And I got this project, virtual Brunei initiative. So this is capacity building in game development and developing a BR representation of Brunei. And this is a project by the U.S. Embassy in Brunei, Darussalam, and their PD grant. And next year we are going to basically provide some capacity building education in game design and development, along with 3D modeling and BR a BR development for the use in Brunei. And I think that's it.
That is it. That's a great list of stuff that we've been doing. A lot of international stuff, as you can see, which is really great. That games are being embraced all over. So now it's going to be a combination of several different people talking about the VSGI, and then we'll and then we'll shift gear to the Mason Game and Technology Academy, and then we'll kind of open it up. So with that in mind, I'm going to start with the resident companies so that people are aware of what they are, what they're doing, things like that. So the first one I'm going to hit today is Scripted LLC. So they've been here for a little while. They've been working on a lot of generative AI stuff, and working on like things that make automatic content for role-playing games and things like that. Recently, they've been working on some innovation in the area of decentralizing AI and decision making. So a lot of these things are very siloed in their different things, even though they're using data from all over. And so what they're doing is they're creating kind of a white paper on how to decentralize these things so that you could take all these different AI generations and decisions that are being made within some of these different AI tools and create a decentralized network on it to make it more efficient, make it more trustworthy, more ethical, things like that. And so they're actually looking for additional funding within their current seed round, where they got off to a good start with A16Z, which is one of the leading boot camps in tech. And they're looking also for some academic partners starting here at GMU to help them to develop this AI innovation even further. So really good stuff coming out of them. If you want to hear more, so they have their latest white paper up on LinkedIn and on the web. It's called the Commit Reveal Pairwise Comparison Protocol. A lot of big words if you're not into AI and stuff like that, but it's very, very cool stuff. Let's see. Improve on Health. These guys have been doing hardware and software to help out folks that have intellectual disabilities for medication and treatment reminders through their app and through their hardware. And they've actually got to the point where with our assistance and the help that we've provided from the game side, they're actually launching the gamification aspect of it. So there's instead of just reminders, take your medicine, they also have virtual pets that you can adopt in the game or in the app, and then you keep them healthy and happy by playing games and giving them their medication and food, and it builds a kind of habit out of that. And then it rewards you for doing the same for yourself, and then you can use your rewards to, dress up or change out or customize your pet even more. So it's using gamification to help make these folks, patients' lives better, as well as making it easier for the caretakers that are involved in the process as well. And from that, they've also kind of spun off and they're doing some stuff with Prince William County where they're actually building a mental health and coping app so that it can recommend different trainings and things for folks to do that may have, or maybe thinking that they may have some issues with stress or things that are going on in their life, and help them with their mental health through this application. So let's see, next up, Historical Movement Archive. So they've been working on a digital playhouse, which is their kind of multi-user, representation of an old playhouse where everybody can come in together and they can actually perform and do historical movement within it, do research, do collaboration, do performances within this space. And one of the things that they really want to do next is really get started on the archiving of this digital movement. And to facilitate that, they've been, looking at all the different hardware and technology over the years for motion capture, and all of them have advantages and disadvantages. But what we're seeing more and more for ease of use and for people to be able to say, anybody who's at any university or uni place that has, movement can record. AI is doing a lot more with single or a few camera setups where AI is doing a lot of the motion capture and interpolation of the data. And one of the things that they've been looking at is how do we make this better? So it can do general bones, big stuff, arms moving, legs moving, but the historical movement that they're trying to archive also has very intricate fingers and feet movements and, bones in the body that are not typically tracked with some of these motion capture systems, or at least not to a degree or finesse that is required. So they're looking at setting up some grant opportunities, or working on some grant opportunities with themselves and other folks from within the college that are doing AI and motion video, kind of stuff. And then hopefully with that innovation, they can continue to improve upon what they're doing for archiving, and they can create a cost-efficient and effective way for anybody to bring their movement within this platform and store it and allow it to be accessed by anyone. Viva Vita has graduated from the VSGI, so they have actually moved out. They've been doing very well. They're continuing to work on their custom software experiences that supplements what they've been providing to their customers. So they've been doing hardware, software packages for senior communities and elder, homes where people can essentially revisit places they've been in their life. They can go to places they never got a chance to, and just because they're in a senior living community or home, they're not limited anymore to just that space. So through this technology, they're giving them experiences they might not get anymore. And so they've curated a bunch, but they're also creating new ones based on what they've gotten from some of their customers. And so right now they're continuing to look for partners for both adopting the kits as well as opportunities to expand. And we'll continue to support them, even though they've graduated, just like we did with some of the other companies like Little Arms, which Sang mentioned earlier. And Great Victory Legends is continuing to work on VR games and VR and XR kind of activities. We actually went out with them and their founder to the CIA headquarters because he's involved in a lot of the stuff coming out of the computer science department and is very into these technologies. So that we're looking for some more good stuff out of them for research. All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit, and we're actually going to move into our own research and stuff that we've been working on, and give you kind of status updates on where some of them are, things like that. For the most part, I'm going to let that be handled by Jacob. So Jacob, are you ready?
Yes. So what you're seeing here is our VR crime house. This is a project that is kind of winding down. We've had students working on it for a couple years with a forensics faculty kind of, helping us know what to do and creating this kind of a training module. But basically right now it's has just a lot of things inside of it, like a digital camera inside the VR experience, the spray, I forgot we call it, the spray to reveal blood stains, and just all kinds of little tools to process the crime scene. So this might, Steve, I know, is the forensics faculty. He's going to continue looking for grant money to support future development, but it's winding down now because of no funding. Yeah, go ahead and go on to the next one. This one, I'm not going to talk about this one.
No, I'll talk about it. And Sang mentioned this already. This is the example of the iNova AR trauma simulation. So it's using the HoloLens 2, and it allows us to use overlays of virtual patients, virtual nurses, virtual equipment, all within either the actual trauma bay or the trauma training bay, or even at home, just being set up within a workspace. So it allows us to do training without having to set up everything, without having to have it on, without having to have somebody laying there or a nurse there or a teacher to do the assessment. So it allows people to practice. It allows them to go through. And the thing that you heard earlier from Sang is we're working on how do we incorporate additional AI with the voice recognition, with how it responds, with how it kind of pretends to be a patient, and how the nurse responds, and the various people within the simulation. And we're expanding on that with the most recent round of funding. So, all right.
All right, and
you want to take that?
This one is our project with the kinesiology department. We've been doing this one for a couple of years as well. And it is basically the kinesiology faculty is studying the gait of people under high anxiety situations. So in the VR world, they get this plank that they walk on. You're just seeing a third of the plank on the right side there, but it's a long plank that they have in real life. But then in the VR world, they get, they walk up and down the plank, and then they lift that plank really high up in the sky, and then do it again. They have trackers on the torso and on the feet, and so they're getting a lot of frame by frame data on how people walk in these high stress situations, and that's where her research is. Our students and our role in the project is just to develop the features that she needs. The last grant was a 4VA grant that supported the next step, which was putting obstacles on the walkway that you had to step over or step past, and seeing how that affected your anxiety and things like that. I know future work might be like a curved walkway and other things that she has in mind, but that's a little bit winding down. We still have one student on the project right now, but she's currently seeking more funding for that as well. This one is one that is really, at least for the moment, finished. We've done a pilot study. We created a game, did a pilot study with it. We're presenting it tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. at the conference in DC. But it's a murder mystery game that is designed to help learners learn how to use the SQL command, the SQL database language. So basically they can do queries on the database to find clues to solve a mystery. And yeah, the in orange there, that's the title of our paper that we're about to present. And that was a collaboration with Virginia Military Institute. This one is also a collaboration with VMI. The same faculty member in computer science. We got a grant to create a cybersecurity chatbot to kind of help with training to avoid hacks and avoid especially social engineering hacks. Sorry if you hear a baby in the background, but yeah, and then okay. So with this one, we have one student hired who's the person who made all these artwork, and he's basically making the avatar that you'll see inside the chat area, and that will respond to you and have a lot of animations. The actual way the cybersecurity chatbot all works is being handled by VMI. Their students and faculty are creating all that. So we're just doing the kind of gameplay part of it, or the immersive part of it. But we want the robot to respond to different inputs that the programmers send it. This project is my little side project I've been working on for a few years. The one, what am I looking at here? Oh, sorry, I take it back. This is the ITL. So I did present those little icons there, are a math series of math games that I've developed online. So one of the talks that I gave was the prototype and vision of game-based mathematics curriculum. These were short little 15-minute talks that we gave at our local conference that's at GMU. So I presented that, had some good attendance, good responses, good feedback, but we also had a few layout in here. So integrating VR, the next one to the right, on the right side, we had 3 presenters with that one, and they were all, well, they weren't supposed to be me. The first one was the VR crime scene, and Steve couldn't make it to that. The second one was the mystery game that we just talked about, and Sharif had to teach, so I took over for both of those. But then Nathan Hahn was mentioned earlier. He teaches for us and works at Bethesda, but he did a lesson on, or a talk on, his AI generated code and how he's implementing it in Game 140. And I've actually implemented that same lesson. So it was pretty good, and it was pretty well attended as well. And then in the bottom left, Seth Hudson is another one of our faculty members who presented a talk. So that was nice. I also attended a few sessions, including some stuff with nursing and health stuff related to games, and had a follow-up meeting. And so a game design doc will hopefully be coming out of that, and maybe some attempts, funding proposals for trying to start up some new projects. This one is this is my little side project that I just started this semester, but I've connected with some literacy faculty in Charleston. And some, Josh is listed on there as part of my dev team. He's the artist, I'm the programmer. And I just started making this to learn Godot, which is a new game engine. Our club at the university is using the game engine this semester to make their game. And it's just it's still tiny compared to Unity or something, but it's a growing thing. So I wanted to learn it. When I started making it, then I was like, well, this is kind of cool. And I made something that my 5-year-old son really liked. And then it turned into a bigger project to help learn literacy because my son's trying to learn to read. And so, yeah, we're looking for funding opportunities. I've already applied for a tiny internal grant for the Perks Foundation, but then we're just looking at other ones. And my new colleague on this is not listed on here, but new team member just wrote a whole grant proposal for our future proposals. So kind of a sample proposal. So I have a lot of hope for this, that it'll get some traction, but yeah.
This
Research.
is Stephanie. You want to talk about these real quick?
I can do that. Sorry. So CVPA, our college, has basically announced some really great opportunities for our faculty. So all tenure and tenure track and term faculty have been given a research fund, individual, to be used at their discretion. And the great thing is it rolls over, so you can save up and do something really big maybe after a couple of years. And also CVPA has, our College of Visual Performing Arts have partnered with the College of Education and Human Development to provide support for research grants at all stages, from pre-award all the way at the end. So these are really great, and I hope that it will encourage us to do more projects.
Excellent. Yeah, it's nice to see support from the college on our research side as well as, and also seeing it promoted within the other aspects of CVPA. All right, we're going to talk briefly about outreach, and then we'll go into Mason Game and Technology Academy. So outreach. So in case you didn't get to go, we had a nice kick-ass 10th anniversary party. You can see the logo up there, and we had some balloons, and we had some Legos, and we had people showing off. That's Tim from Scripted. And we celebrated 10 years of the VSGI. So tons of resident companies. Little Arms, from one of our first, batches of companies, was there showing off their drones. We got Vita, we had Cat Lily, had a lot of great folks. So we got to show off, what we're doing now, what we have been doing, and really the key is, it's 10 great years, and we expect to have at least 10 more, with more resident companies, more research, more outreach. So if you guys have stuff, whether you're seeing this later, or you're seeing it now, if you've got stuff that you want to do, and you have stuff, we're always interested in. It's been a great 10 years. So I'm not going to let the whole thing play, but you can always, we can send you the link to where you can see all the pictures from the event. This is just a quick reminder. George Mason's changed their logo, so you're going to see this funny little thing all the time, and all these little elements and whatnot. Right now, we're ignoring it for MGTA and some of the other avenues until they tell us otherwise, because now you're not supposed to refer to it as just Mason. It's George Mason. So Mason Tech is in some of these things are kind of like, we'll see. But you know what? Hopefully we'll be grandfathered in and we won't have to worry. Jacob's got a book that came out. It was finally published. There's some links in here. So if you're watching the video, or if you take a screenshot, you can go find it. Or if you just search for it, I'm sure you'll find it. It's basically about the mathematics of game development. It's got some great reviews so far, and it's out there. And I'm sure that if you buy it and bring it in, I'm sure Jacob will sign it for you. So excellent. And last but not least, so we have some more space in this building, supposedly at some point, once the new building that is coming up on campus that's almost done opens up. They're going to start working on some space for us, which will be a combination space for the VSGI as well as classroom space for computer game design. It'll be really, really nice. And then I know this is a small blur, but it's a bigger thing, and you'll see more on it after it launches. But Mason Korea, which Sang mentioned earlier, is opening a Korean Serious Games Institute. So we've been working with them and the various folks there, and we've actually hired a person to run that on that end. And myself and Sang and Rick Davis, our dean, are going to go over there for the grand opening at the end of November. And then you'll see some updates on that in the future as well. All right, with that, we're going to shift over to the Mason Game and Technology update, and I'll let Josh brief you on kind of how the summer went and what's coming up. Here you go, Josh.
Hey everybody. So yeah, summer 2024 went pretty well this year. We held 9 classes from MGTA and 10 classes with our partner Envision. Most on the Fairfax campus, a couple on the Manassas campus, and we approximately had around 330-ish students attend throughout the ages of like middle school and high school. We were able to offer 12 different internships to George Mason students and a couple high school students that were in the area. And we also opened 2 new classes this summer. One of them was an Unreal class, which was super successful, filled out pretty quickly, and we're potentially going to be expanding it next summer and doing like a kind of like a part 2. Since Unreal has access to like the Lego engine and the Fortnite engine, we may want to get in on those engines, while they're still kind of new. We're going to be in talks with that here relatively soon, though. And then we opened up a Minecraft 3D modeling class, which had decent success. It ran and it went really well. So we may just need to tweak the advertising for that one a little bit, but not a whole lot to announce for fall. It's going to be a very quiet season for us, which is fine. We are holding a Python programming class in Fairfax. It'll be taught by 2 George Mason graduates, and we will just spend this quiet time planning ahead for the spring, which, if all goes well with Prince William, will be pretty big, and also planning ahead for summer because summer planning's got to start pretty early. And then I have this one. I forgot this one. And then future courses. We are wrapping up our current workflow with the courses we have going on right now. The Unity programming one is finishing up, and we are going to take some of the elements of another course that was being designed and kind of implement it into the programming one. The Roblox course we were working on is also nearing completion for its updates. We're kind of scaling back on these just a little bit since Envision is kind of trying to scale back on them. So we're just trying to perfect the ones we got and add new content as opposed to just making totally new things, at least for right now. So yeah, that's kind of all we got for that.
Excellent. So that kind of brings us to the end. I'm actually just going to stop sharing here so that everybody can see everybody easily. So again, it is recorded, so if things stood out and you want some more information, we'll post a link at some point for that, and so people can also see this outside. If there's things that, Heather or Trey, there's things you guys are doing or want to discuss or talk about or ideas or things you want to even promote, feel free. But that's kind of our spiel and where we are with a lot of what we're doing, so a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, this is way cool stuff. I don't have anything particularly that I'd like to promote around right now, but
That's okay.
yeah, this is just, as always, another set of just really cool things and the expansion of what's possible. I love seeing it.
Yep. Excellent. All right. Well, unless anybody else has anything, we'll probably call it there. And again, we'll post this up for folks, and we'll probably put a new survey up to see about times for future meetings. Maybe even have one in person for a change, and try to get people together.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And so, all right. Well, I appreciate everybody that was able to come by. I appreciate everybody that's going to watch this later. And thanks for all involved today for all the great things that the VSGI has done. For the great 10 years, plus more going on and all that wonderful stuff. And we'll see you in a few months or online sooner. All right, take care.
Great work, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you.
Care.
All right, let's stop recording.